Khäīrē, φίλε, and welcome. Today we're in John chapter 4, taking a look at verse 5, and I think we're going to stop right there and do 6 next week. Here's the rubric, everything that we look for as we go through this text, but never pay attention to. Let's go ahead and get started. Erkatai un eis pollen, tes samaraias, legomenein, sukar, polesion tu koriu, ho edoken Jacob, toi Yosef, toi huioi, autu. That's as far as we're going to make it. Our very first word is our verb. That's nice. Tau, alpha, iota. We've seen that before. And erkomai just pops up every single time. So this one we know is a third singular present tense deponent and indicative. Taking a look ahead, we don't have a clear marker for our subject, so it's going to be Jesus again. Un, therefore. Therefore, Jesus comes, eis, prepositional phrase, plus accusative, pollen right there. Tes is the wrong form for that, so that ends our prepositional phrase. This is polis, so in right there is a expected accusative singular ending. And do I remember what gender a city is? Polis? I think polis is feminine. If not, I will add a note in there. That's purely from memory, and you know my memory. Okay, comes into city. A city, we would say, since there's no article with it. Tes samaraios. Tes tells us that samaraios is genitive singular. And, of course, feminine. Of the Samaria. Legumenein, eta nu right there, so that's going to be accusative, singular, and feminine. And then men tells us that this is a passive off of lego, a present stem. Present, passive, participle. I should probably abbreviate that just to PT. So we know that this means called, but called in the present. It's so being called right now. And of course, this tells us that it's modifying. Nope. Yes. Right there. The city. Called Sukar. And this, I don't think, is a native Greek word. I didn't bother looking it up. But it's the name of the city, so it's probably going to be Aramaic. If I have time, I'll add a note for it, which I should have just looked it up, sorry. So, Sakar, alright, then Plesion. Plesion here is a adjective. And we've got on right there, or omicron nu, so we know that it is either nominative singular or, well, Plesios, Plesia, Plesion. Yeah, I think it's nominative or accusative singular. And neuter is a likely object for it. Cogitating. I am reminded now that yes, it is accusative singular neuter, and it is an adjective, but in this case it's a funky adjective, and it's acting almost like a preposition. So take a look at this. Note we've got the genitive there, so plusion is a odd adjective, and it means near, nearby, and it takes the genitive in its thing, in its object, and the weird stuff that it's doing. So there, singular with that, and it is going to be genitive. And another thing I didn't look the gender up of, and we don't have a adjective to go with it to clear that up. So, yeah, yet another note. I don't know what this is. Of the field or place. And I want to say feminine, but I don't know. Ho edoken. Ho with that aspiration right there we know is from hos. Hey ho. So this is going to be the nominative or accusative singular neuter. Edoken Jacob. which gave Jacob, or which Jacob gave. Jacob's probably going to be our subject right there with ho. Oh, ho tells us. Duh. Neuter as a pronoun, relative, or otherwise has to match the number and gender of its referent. So, accusative, singular, neuter, which, epsilon nu, epsilon right there, so that's didomi, doso, edo, ka. This is going to be aorist, third singular aorist from the third principal part, active and indicative, which Jacob, which cannot be declined in Greek, so in this case it would be our subject form. Gave toi Yosef, so that article, since it's got the brackets around it, that means that it doesn't necessarily appear in the earliest texts, which means that a scribe or somebody probably put it in there to clarify what case Yosef is, since we've got another indeclinable right before it. Then for the poor Greek reader, they'd be looking at it without the article and be like, well, who's doing what? And you wouldn't know if it's Joseph gave Jacob or Jacob gave to Joseph. And this is especially an issue since the Greek readers, these new Christians from the Greek world, they wouldn't know Old Testament history and they wouldn't know who these two people were. So they'd run across this and like, I don't know who Jacob is and I don't know who Joseph is. So how am I supposed to know what's going on until somebody teaches me? So this is probably an insertion for the poor catechumens to Joseph. So I appreciate the inclusion of that by whoever added it. If it was even an addition, it could have been original. We don't know. Toi huioi, so that's dative, singular, masculine. So also Joseph. The son, autu, no need to parse, of him. And that ends verse 5. Let's go ahead and take a look at it from verse 1. First, therefore Jesus comes into a city of the Samaria, which would be unusual for a Jew to do because they didn't like the Samaritans, called Sychar, nearby the field which Jacob gave to Joseph, the son of him, or his son. As therefore Jesus perceived that the Pharisees heard that Jesus made more disciples and he baptizes more than John, can't believe I missed that. Although Jesus himself was not baptizing, but his disciples. He sent away the Jews, and he left again into the Galilee. And there he went through Samaria. Maybe I misidentified that. Since I'm recording this before I've edited the week with that, that's quite probable. This could be from Deo. But if it were Deo, I would expect that there would actually be the accent over this as a contraction, since Deo is an epsilon contract verb. I'm sorry, we've gotten completely sidetracked in reading through this. I will, I guess, have a note in the video about this anyway, and then probably again right here, I'll just cut this out if it's not necessary. Anyway, moving on. And there he went through Samaria. Yeah, it's probably just a normal adverb rather than form of Deo, since we got that accusative right there. I don't know. Therefore, Jesus comes into a city of the Samaria called Sychar, near the field which Jacob gave to Joseph, the son of him. And there we have it. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope taking a look at this has been helpful for you, and I hope that you have a very good day. Farewell.
What? You're still awake? Why are you still here then? You should be reading a book. Or if not reading, you should watch one of these other videos. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. See you next week.